Hey, hey, collective. What's happening? Ooh. You guys ready for the full moon? Well, by the time you see this, the full moon would have already come to pass. It's the New Year moon. But, you guys ready for it? I know I am. Have y'all been following my personal story? I hope so. If not, you'll hear about it. All right, let's get into it. It's going to be a general collective reading today. I don't know what's going to come out. I do want to clear up just real quickly because I had a misconception before I knew I was psychic. My misconception about psychics was that, like, they're aware of everything. Like, they see everything that's going to happen. And that's just not the case. I see things and know things, well, first of all, that are pertinent to my storyline. Because that's helpful to me, and it will be helpful to the masses. If it's not already. But just know when you come into communication with a psychic, they don't know everything. So it's like, oh, when you come into a reading and you're like, oh, I shouldn't tell you anything about my story, or like, you should know this already. No, that's not how it works, okay? I say that because, like, looking at me now, whenever I went to a psychic or like a tarot reader, I'd be like, well, you should already know this. And it's like, no. They're aware of, like, the pertinent things, not fucking what kind of car you drive or what your son's name is or, you know, whatever the case may be. Like, that's not how this thing works. So, I don't know. Maybe that's something that people needed to hear, that, like, psychics don't know. Just because you walk into their energy doesn't mean they know your whole fucking life story and what you're going to do today and what's going to happen to you tomorrow. Okay, so that might be important to you. That might be something that you had a misconception of yourself. Or maybe you're going to see a psychic for some reason. Or maybe I am that psychic. I don't think I like the term psychic. I don't know. There's a connotation that goes along with it. Anything in the spiritual world, I feel like there's a connotation of, like, woo-woo and, you know, it's not real and you're just, like, you're full of shit. And psychic gives me that feeling. I don't know, medium? Even medium seems that way too. I feel like there needs to be new terms. Maybe I'll make that up. Alright, let's see what needs to come out in the collective energy today, Spirit. What does our divine collective need to know? There are cross-watchers on my channel, I do know that. Cross-watching is people that are curious about somebody else's storyline. So they listen to tarot to see if they can't gain information that way. A lot of law enforcement does that. They don't like to say that. You get a lot of information. You can pick up a lot of information from tarot readers for free. You don't have to pay for it, right? So law enforcement loves that shit. Which is why I don't plan to work for the government. Ever. Okay? I work for myself. What needs to come out today? Gossip and rumors. Uh-oh. Rumor mill starting to act up. Oh, we got a player here. He or she is the hot topic of conversation. Construction and or construction sites. Do we have a contractor who's also a player? What else? Actively getting karma. Careful on the construction site. How embarrassing. So this player's getting lit up in a very embarrassing way. So this is a karmic reading, right? Is that what I'm gathering? Tenth house. 10th house represents the house of fame and honors, ambition, boundaries, career and work, authority figures, status. It's also Capricorn energy, stubborn even. Saturn's the ruling planet of the 10th house. Limitations, public image. Yeah. All right. So something happening with somebody's construction job and or career. Poverty. A lot going on. You need to seek professional help. Whomever I'm speaking to. A dim-witted fool. Or is that fool or tool? Doesn't matter. They're interchangeable. I love that card. It's such like a... It's such a dig, but like not in today's world. A dim-witted tool. Each and every one of those words carries a level of weight with it, doesn't it? A dim-witted tool who needs to seek professional help. You're a guide in this lifetime. That's interesting. Bitches ain't shit and they ain't saying nothing. Prostitution? Strange for change much? So now this dim-witted tool who thinks they're some sort of guide in this lifetime, who's just talking a bunch of shit, but they really ain't saying nothing, is also a little strange for change, in a level of poverty right now, broken. This is a karmic reading if I've ever had one before. Unhealthy attachments. It was you this whole time. just beginning to see that. The dim-witted tool is awake. Oh my God, it was you! Your angels and ancestors are trying to talk. Trying to get a message through. Whoops. Did I do that? It was you this whole time. Twin flame. And your soulmate is in your energy. Hopefully like a real soulmate. Soulmate who's been friend zoned. CCTV. I know you guys can't see that. Poor financial hygiene. Again, CCTV. High profile. Shh. Don't tell. Pack your bags. You exude love and people see this. Okay, dokie. Let's see. What's the vibe with this player? Spirit. What's the current vibe with this player or dim-witted tool? Fool. Who needs to seek professional help? Oh, that was an awful shuffle. Antisocial. They're in their feelings. You're giving them the silent treatment. They feel left out. And that's because you're being protected by the Most High, prevented from harm, divine intervention, yeah, karma, actively getting karma. And it's time for you, collective, to smell the roses. Slow down, take some time out, get out in nature. Bottom of the deck, Possibilities. Follow your dreams. Make up your mind. Believe in yourself. And burned bridges. Lack of trust. Disloyal. Turned back on. You got feminine energy, though. Divine feminine energy. Gentleness, nurturing, mothering. Pregnancy could be a thing, too. You might be ready to pop. I don't know. Let's go into Kipper. Spirit, what does the collective need to know right this minute? What do they need to be aware of about what's going on in the energy? Courtship. That's the soulmate in your energy. Possibly bad health. The status of your possibly relationships is in bad health, or you could just be in like getting over a cold or something like that. But the courtship between you and this past person, it's not good. I mean, the bridges have been burned. Yeah. And then distant horizons. There's a pathway being cleared for you for possibilities to emerge. Yeah. Change is inevitable for both you and this other person in your energy. Got theft over here and gaining a lot of money. So theft of money could have been a thing. Give us current energy that the collective needs to be aware of. Court. Court coming up, possibly in May. Yeah. April, May is when things start to kick off. There's court meetings right now. Lots of court person. So we got a judge or a lawyer, attorney having discussions. Some sort of pleasant message, though, that's about to come through regarding unexpected money and success in love. Again, gaining a lot of money. Okay, let's see. Is there anything hidden that the collective needs to be aware of, Spirit, right now? I kind of feel like this is a confirmation reading for both you and this person from your past. I'm not really getting, like, I'm glad this new twin flame or soulmate is in your energy, but definitely getting that these are two separate people. And obviously the majority of the energy is in the past, so you should very much be aware as to who, at least the first person is, the player, the dim-witted fool. So this came out sideways, but then it flipped upright. High Priestess. So High Priestess is Pisces energy, third eye activation, intuition. She is highly, highly intuitive. She is the psychic of the tarot. She brings things into reality. So like while the magician manifests, the high priestess sees and holds a lot of secrets and can bring that information, those messages from the higher realms into this world. She's the bridge. Okay. What about this high priestess? Queen of Wands. So fiery. Not only is this high priestess super intuitive and very tapped in, knows a lot of secrets, can expose them at her will. She's also super fiery. Queen of Wands is sexy, smart, action-oriented, driven, ambitious. She's like the life of the party type. So this is you, collective. Currently balancing things out, juggling your day-to-day life, putting effort, time, and attention into the things that truly matter to you intuitively, by the way, but moving forward regardless. Like having so much on your plate, but then honing in on the one thing that actually needs to be done and setting a course for yourself to do so. Eight of Wands. Moving forward and speaking about it. It's also Eight of Wands in the reverse, though. So you're speaking about the past and what you know, the secrets that are coming to light. You are bringing that to light by speaking about it. After some time of juggling around, like this wasn't like a decision that came lightly to you. Like you took time to consider both sides and you made the decision to speak on it, speak on the past. About what happened within a relationship. What happened between the two of you? Knight of Swords in the upright. Yeah, you assess the situation. You know, the high priestess holds the information that a high priestess holds is not information for everyone. The reason being is because sometimes the really important pieces of information, if it gets into the wrong hands, a lot of bad can be done with that. And so what you did, collective, is you strategized how to go about this communication intuitively and when to bring it forth, when to speak it, and how to say it too. You said it with a level of intention and exactness that was needed at that time. It's in regards to a Virgo energy, the Hermit, somebody who refuses to look at themselves in the correct light. The Hermit is all about like the Hermit has had a journey of like a long journey, and they go into hermit mode. They go into this cave, right? This is sort of the background story of the hermit. But when you go into the cave, the idea is that you isolate so that you can reflect upon the past and the actions that were taken and the resulting consequences of those actions, and so that you can see them in, like, portrayed in the right light, because you have wisdom behind you, right? You see things 20/20 after they've happened. And the hermit has gone through enough life experiences to where he can draw upon that wisdom and, typically have a light that tells them what the next step should be, the appropriate light. But because it came in the reverse, even though this person is in isolation and antisocial, feeling left out, they're not healing. They're not doing anything about it. They're literally just sitting in a dark room by themselves, playing the victim. So, collective, if you want to know about this past person, seems like they're still a dim-witted tool who hasn't learned their lesson. Yeah. Moon. Secrets being exposed. Seems like you, collective, high priestess, have, with your communication, you've literally held up a mirror to this person, and that mirror is the moon. It's the reflection of themselves. And apparently, they don't like the dim-witted tool that's looking back at them. Sorry about your luck. That's yourself. Lovers. Secrets about the decisions that they made in the past, because that's what the Lovers is. It can also mean like a true twin flame, but it seems as though if this person was your twin flame, they're a fallen twin. And if that is the case, just know that God always sends in a replacement. So if you make the choice to love yourself, which is what the Lovers is all about, choose to do the right thing for you and not taking into account how they might feel about it, yeah, that's holding up a mirror to them while the truth sets you free, and you're exposing secrets regarding what they said and did in the past regarding this relationship. Devil. Capricorn energy. So, did you have a conversation with possibly a Capricorn to let them know about maybe what you lied about in the past regarding this relationship? Kind of seems like it. Yeah. And why you left, collective? That's why this person is broken and broke. They resulted to prostitution. And while you're fucking sailing off into the sunset. Yeah. Sailing off into the sunset only to be met with celebrations. You're walking into a time of collaboration and celebration of you and your abilities. Also, you walking away from this situation is what is bringing about the celebration. It wasn't, obviously this wasn't a healthy thing for you, and the collaborations of the past in secret have all been exposed. 33 could be significant. Yeah. What this person did to you and how foolish they were. This is literally, because it's the Fool in reverse. This is like the dim-witted fool in action. Look at him. He's got like tattered clothes, fucking ferret following him around. He doesn't know where he's going. Danger, Will Robinson, and he's like, da da da, doop 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 doop. Yeah, he just like ran as fast as he could in the opposite wrong fucking direction. Oh my god. Why, you might ask? Because he's got a wand that needs something. Gotta stick that wand somewhere, so I'm just gonna run this way. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And now they're in bad health. Surprise, surprise, right? Oh, but he's supposed to be the nice guy, right? King of Cups is the one that's remains stoic and balanced, even though the world around him is like crashing down and the waves are super massive. He's the one who you wouldn't even be able to tell anything was bothering him. So not only is this person in isolation, broken, prostitution, strange for change, and they're sick, but at the same time not looking at themselves in the correct light whatsoever. They have no spiritual backing. Their ancestors just fucking walked away from them. But yet, you wouldn't even know by looking at them. So if you go and talk to this person, everything is hunky-dory in their world. They got what they wanted, right? They stuck their wand into something. Who knows? Might not even be a person. You never know these days. Page of Wands in the reverse. They literally have no fucking idea what to do. They're like at a loss for direction right now. And they're angry about it. Bottom of the deck, Four of Pentacles. Holding back. Thinking about the past. Thinking about the things that they did have when they had them, and then that was all squandered and lost, especially when it came to money. Didn't we say poor financial health? I think that was on the split in one of these, so yeah. Not in a good spot. So then, let's give, this isn't going to be a super long one today. Let's give the collective some advice on, what they need to do here. All right, angels and ancestors. Let's give the collective some advice. What would you give our divine collective? What would you tell the divine collective they need to do right this minute? Other than packing their bags. Judgment, that's on the split. We're looking for advice for the divine collective, not this dim-witted tool. What does the divine collective need to be aware of? That family's fighting. A lot of chaos. So when I said that the waters are choppy surrounding this guy, and yet he's just remaining stoic and balanced in his energy amidst a whole bunch of shit swirling around them. Again, May 5 keeps coming up. So I believe that's when, like, I don't know, maybe when the trial kicks off, or when judgment is rendered. Then something happens in May 2026. Yeah, they're fighting about, like, what you said, the secrets being exposed, what was done to you in the past by family. Again, with the 5, Virgo energy too. I mean, there's just a lot of disappointment and regret. But the 5 is also, it's always a card of hope too. So, like, while you feel the entire world is up against you, or maybe you have felt that way, the 5 also represents, you know, while yes, spilled cups from the past, you know, are still hurtful to you, you do still have a couple of, you know, filled cups over here that you've turned your back on. So, like, I think what Divine is trying to tell you is that, like, not all hope is lost. Like, you will see this through. And you will get vindication, is what I'm just feeling. Yeah, you're gonna... This is... The 9 of Cups is I mean, you're 1 cup away from the 10 of Cups, complete emotional fulfillment, happy home life. This is you sitting in your power, like you're content. Your wishes are being fulfilled. So even though, like, it just seems like a big transitional time right now that you are, like, see the dichotomy between the 2 worlds. It's like where one group is just all up in arms, there you are, just as calm as can be. So whatever you said or did, it's healing, and it's putting you in a position of not only power but contentment. Like, I think it was just healing for you to state what you needed to state and expose what needed to be exposed. And that you're fucking moving forward. We have, like, you're talking about the past and what happened to you, but you're also stating what needs to be said, and then you're fucking moving on. Like, the Knight of Wands is fiery. Aries energy, natural born leader. Could be in your masculine energy too. So you could also be, you know, a level of your own energy could be this King of Cups too, where, like, you had, as the High Priestess and Queen of Wands, like, you had to get into this this energy, the King's energy, to where you are your own king, and even though the world is swirling about you, you're the one that remains stable and still, the grounding force of it all. So there's a need for you to stay grounded, is what I get. Yeah. You taking great pride in your work and, you know, what brings you peace and happiness, and continuing to move forward will balance the energies out and put you back into your natural state, which is this Queen of Cups. It's not like the Queen of Cups she's sweet and docile until you fucking cross her. That's what most people get confused with the Queen of Cups. Like, she can be a bitch if she wants to the right people. And so if you're as intuitive and fiery as people know you to be, you're also this energy. It's just hard for people to see it right now because you are so fired up about moving forward and speaking your truth. And it's leading a lot of people to illumination and lighting not only their path, but seeing the path that you walk too. Like, seeing things from your point of view, not just this dim-witted tool. Yeah, they're just watching. I get a sense that, like, a lot of people are watching you. Do you feel that way, collective? Well, you are an earth angel. You're bridging the gap between the higher realms and this prison of earth that we're all a part of. I shouldn't say that. Like, we should all be thankful that we have the ability to live a conscious life on this earth. But if you guys have listened to my story, I'm a little jaded. I'm still healing myself. But the more I speak about it, the more it is healing me. So while I say Earth is a prison, in comparison to, like, living in the ethers, it is a fucking prison. Like, everyone that I've channeled, nobody wants to come back down here. Everyone wants to stay up there because it's way more peaceful, way more fun, and everyone's just at peace and happy-go-lucky. It reminds me of the end of This Is the End, that movie where, you know, they get taken up into heaven, and then it's like, back streets, back, all right! And everyone's, like, partying on Segways and, like, smoking joints and stuff. Yeah, it's a goddamn party up there all the time. You can see everything that's going on down here. Nobody wants to come back down here. Who wants to raise their hand for their memories to be just like wiped clean and then you just start from a baby and you have to figure it all out again? Nobody. Everyone wants to be up there. So yeah, our earthly realm is a little bit of a prison. It's like, that's the fucking truth. My angels and ancestors are like, yeah, we don't want to come back down here. Yeah, look, it's the truth that you kind of feel like an outsider coming back down here. Because we all are. But we're all connected. We just don't know it. We forget about it until somebody like myself or other awesome readers come along and we bring the connections to you guys. My mission, I am so hardcore about this, is to debunk the things people feel about being a spiritual leader or a psychic or a medium or a channeler or any sort of spiritual guide in this world. Like, it's just one of my goals to not ensure that I make people understand, but to live in such a way that allows people to have evidence of their own, to make their own decisions around whether spirituality and tarot readers and energy reading is realistic. Because guaranteed, as my story plays out in real time, it'll align with all of my predictions that I've mentioned. And that's what's going to blow everyone the fuck away. The fact that I see things and other tarot readers see things that you guys can't. And that's not to say that you can't ever, because there was a time not too long ago that I didn't have these abilities. But, yeah, I just want to debunk that for a lot of people. It'll take some time, but I'm onto something here. Yeah. Spirit's like, yes, there are high priestesses that are messengers for the divine who bridge the gap. It's not fake. Why am I still pulling this? I guess any lasting energies, helpful energies that the collective needs to be aware of going into the future. Kind of seems like, you know, the advice here, collective, is just to continue moving forward. Continue surveying the scene, speaking your truth when you're called to do so, and to stay grounded. Yeah. Spirit wants you to get excited about the things that are coming into you. So while you feel like you might be stagnant right now or things are not moving, this guy is aware that his ships are coming in. It's like any day now. All you need to do is just continue to move forward and do your thing. Continue to move forward and end this cycle of the past. And that involves court. We got that like 3 times in the very beginning, and now we're ending the reading with justice. Libra energy. So while what I think is going to happen is like things will kick off in May, but they might not get resolved until fall. This is a marathon, not a sprint. So the need for you to stay grounded is going to become so prevalent. So prevalent. And that transformation is in the air. It's inevitable. Possibly if somebody is in that bad of health, prostitution, strange for change, I mean, death could be like a real thing too for somebody in your world. Death to all the betrayals, all the competitions behind your back, people talking shit, trying to win at all costs. You also have brand new love coming in too, so that could be like your actual soulmate and twin flame in your energy. You probably don't even know who this person is just yet, but a new beginning in love, whether it's with like your soul tribe or, you know, like new family members, friends, acquaintances, business contracts, or a brand new love, if that's what you're manifesting. Remember, the high priestess, she's not only intuitive, but she's also a master magician. In order to get into that position, she has to master being a magician as well. So you can manifest whatever you want when you're in that energy. So if this is something that you're looking for, be very specific about what you are looking for and what you want. All right, collective. Well, that was a good way to round out this reading. It was full circle. I'm glad like we ended with justice because it just confirmed everything that we had over here. So keep going, keep moving forward. Pay no mind to the dim-witted fool in the background. That's over and done with. You've closed that cycle, and you will continue to close that cycle the more you move forward and the more you continue to speak your truth, specifically in court too. So I love you guys. I hope this was helpful, and I will see you guys again real soon.